Peace. How is everyone? Yeah. Can we do like one round of applause for ladies everywhere? So as Delisha said, and as I've said before, and as some of you have witnessed, sometimes I rap, sometimes I do poetry, sometimes I just talk. Today's gonna be the time, like a lot of times recently, that I just talk. Creatively so, because I actually, for the first time, gave myself some reference notes. The reason I'm doing this is because this is Women's History Month. So I want to share some history, some of my favorite women of history, what they contributed, and the oppression that they faced to do so. And then I'm just going to kind of reflect on that. So one of my favorites, because I really like science, there's a lot of science in here because of the fact that under the patriarchal system that women are being oppressed by, one of the biggest issues is equal rights. And a lot of that plays a role with economy and jobs and things like that. So this is science-based simply because that's one of the fields that it took a long time for women to make moves in, so to speak. So, Marie Curie. Does anybody know? Nice, okay. So she was the first woman to become a Nobel laureate when she was awarded the 1903 Nobel Prize in Physics for her joint research alongside her husband and a fellow scientist, Henri Becquerel. Her husband's name was Pierre, on the study of his new discovery, the phenomena of radiation. She went on in 1906, after her husband died, to be seated on the Sorbonne Physics Department, first woman, and be the first female professor at the institution, one of the oldest universities in history anywhere in the world. 1910, she successfully isolated the element radium and developed the international standard of radioactive emissions that we still use today. In 1911, the French Academy of Sciences did not elect her as a member short of votes due to slandering campaigns by the press criticizing her for being a foreigner and being an atheist. Back then, if you were a good believing God, then you were the devil. So, to move on, Juliet Gordon Love, anybody know? Founded the Girl Scouts of America, 1912.
I like Thin Mints.
August 1st, 1786, Carolyn Herschel. Anybody know her husband? Herschel? Oh, okay. She became the first woman astronomer to discover a comet, because she sat around all the time and looked at the sky with her husband's telescope. In 1835, alongside fellow scientist and mathematician Mary Somerville, she became one of the first two women elected into the Royal Astronomical Society. But being the first American woman recognized as a professional astronomer, Maria Mitchell became the first woman member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences and the American Association for the Advancement of Science in 1850. Appointed the first faculty member of Vassar College in 1865. She was then named as director of the Vassar Observatory, which, if you're a director of the observatory, is a pretty big thing. There's another, let's see. I don't have time to do all these, so I'm just going to pick some of the best ones. This one is one of my favorites. Phyllis Wheatley, born in 1753 in Senegal, Africa, was sold into slavery at age 7, though ended up being raised as a member, so to speak, of her master's family and taught to read and write by age 12. Writing her first poem at age 13, she is America's first African-American poet, and her works are still used today in reference to the reasoning and nature of both slavery and to the need for abolition. Harriet Beecher Stowe, anybody familiar? She wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. I'm just going to share a quote. "I wrote what I did because as a woman, as a mother, I was oppressed and brokenhearted with the sorrows and injustice that I saw." These are the last two, and this kind of goes into the political realm because I think that it means a lot. And it also touches on gay rights, because I actually work at Neighbors. Anybody know where that's at? That's yeah. I work security at Neighbors. So feel free to come visit me if you'd like. I can be trained for free, only one person a night, but but no, it's really cool. At first I was kind of worried. I was like, I don't know, a straight man working at a gay club, that's kind of, and I was worried. Listen though, I was worried that I was gonna, not be able to handle it. And I have met some of the coolest people in my life at that place. Like, I love my job, it's awesome. But anyway, so the last two, Jeanette Pickering Rankin was the first woman to be elected to Congress in 1916 from Montana State. A lifelong pacifist, she was one of the 50 members of Congress who voted against entry into World War I in 1917, and the only member to vote against declaring war on Japan following the attack on Pearl Harbor. She brought poverty in Georgia, where she established the Georgia Peace Society, organizing social clubs for children and lecturing often on pacifism. This is a quote: "As a woman, I cannot go to war, and I refuse to send anyone else." The last one, you may know, you may not, if you don't, you should. It happened last year. In the year 2012, Wisconsin State Representative Tammy Baldwin becomes the first open lesbian female elected to U.S. Senate. So the reason that I share these is because, of course, we live in the age of information, as I talk about often. Google, even though I don't really like the company, is a great thing. You can go to the library, read books, learn your history. Thank you.